One of the most recognized trademarks or logos all over the world is a pair of mouse ears, Mickey Mouse's ears to be exact. People of all ages all over the world, not just in America, know or have heard of Mickey Mouse or Walt Disney. Although the name and logo of the Walt Disney Corporation has been around for a while and is a household name for many Americans, few know the history and story of Walt Disney himself. Walt Disney had three main periods throughout his life. His beginning years, which were not all bright and shiny as many people may think, his road to fame, which included many hardships, and Walt's worlds that were created during and after his death, which were just a figment of his imagination at that time. Let's start at the beginning of Walt's life, the same place the Walt Disney Empire all got started. Walter Elias Disney was born on December 5, 1901 in Chicago's Hermosa community area. He was born to parents Elias Disney and Flora Cole Disney. He had an older brother, Robert Roy, who later became his business partner. When Walt was about 14 or 15, he started high school at McKinley High, where he was a cartoonist for the school newspaper. At about 16, he dropped out of high school to join the Army, but being only 16, they refused him. Instead, he went to work for the Red Cross and spent a year there with them in France. Once he got back to the States, he opened his first studio, which he called Laugh-O-Grams. Unfortunately, he was unable to pay all the employees after being only open a year or two and had to file for bankruptcy. Walt set off to Hollywood to find a distributor for his new comic, which he called Alice Comedies. He found a willing distributor in New York named Margaret Winkler. Unfortunately, she renamed the comics as Alice in Cartoonland, or as we know them more today, Alice in Wonderland. Walt was asked to create a new animated series by Disney for Universal Pictures. He entitled this character Oswald the Rabbit. He became an instant success. Because of the success that Oswald had brought Disney, he went to New York to request a higher fee for each short that he did for them. Unfortunately, Disney found out that he didn't actually own Oswald the Rabbit, but that Universal did. So he decided that he was going to leave that company and set off to do something he loved and something that he would be the single owner to. Despite Walt's rough start, he did not give up to his desire to do what he did best, find a means to an end. As Walt Disney once said, it all began with a mouse. There's some speculation on where the origin of Mickey Mouse came from. Some say that Walt had a pet when he was younger, and that's where he got the idea of using a mouse. Others say that on his train ride back from New York after being told about Oswald the Rabbit, he saw a mouse on the train and began sketches there. He originally named the mouse Mortimer, but his wife Lillian convinced him otherwise. Although Steamboat Willie is what Mickey Mouse is most known for, because it was the first cartoon to be released with sound, it was actually not the first short that Mickey ever appeared in. Mickey's popularity soon skyrocketed and quickly surpassed that of Felix the Cat, who was a well-known favorite for many previous years. Walt Disney paved the way for much of the production industry when he combined Technicolor with sound. He actually held the right with Technicolor to have the sole rights to use the 3-strip Technicolor for the first 2 years it was out. Walt Disney's success only went up from there when he created Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was the first full-length animated feature film in color, and it paved the way for animation. He won the most Academy Awards held by any single person, with 22 Oscars and 4 honorary Oscars totaling 26. If you put all 26 Oscars foot to foot, that would be over 344 inches of Oscars, which would be almost 30 feet, which is the size of an NFL goalpost. After Walt Disney had so much success in the animation industry, he decided that he wanted to create the happiest place on earth. Disney got the idea when visiting Children's Fairyland in Oakland, California. He decided that he wanted to create a place where parents and children could have fun together in a good, clean environment. Walt Disney had many ideas throughout his lifetime that others thought would be an instant failure. One of these ideas is what Walt Disney is most known for today. Since Disneyland opened their park on July 17, 1955, they have had more than 450 million guests visit their park as of their 55th anniversary in July of 2010. That's an average of 8,181,818 people per year, 157,342 people per week. That means that almost 15 people walk in and out of their park every 15 minutes. Even though Disneyland was a huge success for Walt and for theme parks all over the world, he wanted to create a bigger, grander version of Disneyland. He wanted Epcot to be the heart of this new park. He spent many years planning, but died in 1966 before construction was ever began. His brother and business partner Roy took over the Florida project and had the name officially changed to Walt Disney World in honor of his brother's death. Walt Disney World has 4 original theme parks represented by 4 different icons. The first to open was Magic Kingdom, which is represented by Cinderella's castle. Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow, otherwise known as Epcot, is represented by the spaceship Earth. Officially renamed in 2008, Disney Hollywood Studios is represented by the Sorcerer's Hat, and represented by the Tree of Life is the Animal Kingdom, the largest of all Disney theme parks all over the world. Both Disneyland and Disney World are 2 of the most popular theme parks not only in the U.S., but all over the world today. Walt Disney once said he was interested in entertaining people and bringing pleasure, particularly laughter, to others. And when visiting one of his parks, he does just this, even though he is no longer alive. Walt Disney was not famous from birth, but simply wanted to do something he loved while making ends meet. Walter Elias Disney had a vision of not just making things better, but of creating things and finding ways to improve the old without being wasteful. He believed it was fun to do the impossible and spent many years of his life doing just that. Like Disney once said, if you can dream it, you can do it.